Hey guys, it's me, Allie, and welcome back to Sorta Siblings. So I would like to start off this video by saying that if I sound sick, that's because I am. I'm getting over a cold, so if I sound stuffy or whatever, just ignore that. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about a TV show that is currently my favorite TV show, Andi Mack. Now, if you have not heard of Andi Mack, you're probably a normal teenager. Because Andi Mack is a Disney Channel show. And that might sound weird. You're probably like, Allie, what self-respecting 16-year-old's favorite TV show is a Disney Channel show? Let me explain. Even though Andi Mack is on the Disney Channel and features, kid actors, it's so mature in its themes that it is truly enjoyable for anyone to watch and honestly could be on Freeform or another network that isn't just for kids. It is so groundbreaking in a bunch of different ways that I'm going to deep dive into. If you are one of the people who are like, oh, no spoilers, I literally don't want to know anything, the first episode of the show is online on Disney Channel, on their YouTube page. So go watch that. And if you're even remotely curious, I would recommend watching the rest of it. There's a huge plot twisty thing, or I say plot twist, it's basically the main premise of the show for the first season that's revealed in season 1 that is groundbreaking in itself that I'm about to talk about. So if you want no spoilers, stop watching me. Go watch the first episode. Love it. Keep watching it until you get caught up because, oh my god, it just gets better. Okay, so for everyone else who doesn't mind getting a few spoilers just to become intrigued with the show, I'm not going to spoil any main plot points or anything, but I'm just going to talk about some of the topics and issues that are discussed, as well as some of the characters, so you get a better feel of why you should actually watch this show. The thing that happens in the first episode that I would consider to be a spoiler for people who are don't tell me anything, is that Andi, the main character, finds a startling realization about her older sister, Bex. Basically, Andi has grown up with her parents, who are both older, and Bex, her much older sister, who isn't around very much. Bex comes to visit the very first episode because it is Andi's 13th birthday, and eventually by the end of the episode that you learn that Bex is not actually Andi's older sister, but is actually Andi's mom, and that Andi's parents this whole time have actually been her grandparents. This obviously is super mature for Disney. The fact that they are literally having a main character who's had a teen pregnancy be a main focus of the storyline for the majority of the first season is insane to me. But that's the tip of the iceberg. The amount of representation and hard-hitting issues that this show handles really well is truly impressive. Additionally, Andi Mack is one of the most diverse shows I've seen on television. Their main cast is not only incredibly talented, but incredibly diverse and incredibly interesting to watch. Andi's family is Chinese, and they often spend episodes talking about specific holidays, and there's at least 2 in mind where they're celebrating specific holidays with, traditions, and I think it's super fun to see episodes like that because, one, I get to learn more about another culture, and I think it's good to be educated and stuff. And also, I think it's important for people to see themselves in TV, and so the fact that this is representing a large part of American but also global population is awesome. But the diversity does not stop there. Andi's 2 best friends, Buffy and Cyrus, are also very diverse. Buffy is African American and wears her hair naturally and does not let anybody tell her no. Buffy does not stand down from a challenge. She's super competitive and she likes to win, but she's also super kind and caring and overall just a really well-balanced character. Her mom is also in the military and is often on service duty, and the episodes that focus on Buffy and her mom's relationship are super interesting to watch. Next up is Cyrus. Cyrus is Jewish and his heritage is openly there and explored. They have an episode at his bar mitzvah. The most recent episode was at a shiva, or a Jewish funeral, and I think it's really cool to just experience more cultures. I know I've said that 3 times now, but I don't know. I just really like that they're so open about showing it, especially on the Disney Channel where most of their characters are white, blonde, boring people, which I am, so I think I can say that. Cyrus's parents are also divorced and both remarried, and all of them are therapists, which is kind of like a running gag throughout the series, especially because Cyrus is such like a therapist, mom, friend kind of guy. Eventually, as the series goes on, Cyrus begins to question his sexuality. The way this is handled is amazing. Though Cyrus starts off kind of unsure of himself and his sexuality, he's become more and more confident with it, and it's so refreshing to see a younger kid, like he's an 8th grader in the show, go through something like this, as that's when a lot of kids start to realize their own sexuality, and having Cyrus as a role model is just honestly so cool to think about. Really quickly, I want to show you guys the scene that made me decide that I absolutely had to film this video this week. This scene is from the newest episode that aired like last Friday. And before I show it, I'm going to give a little bit of context before I move on to talk about some of the other characters. But I feel like this scene really shows how good Disney is doing with the show and just how good the show is in general. The only really thing you need to know before like watching this scene to understand it is that the guy Cyrus is talking to is Jonah, who he's been debating all episode whether or not he wants to tell Jonah. Jonah is like a mutual best friend of all the characters, and I will talk about Jonah in just a minute. He's a main character too. I just haven't gotten around to him. And also that they are at Cyrus's grandmother's Shiva, so there's like, it's like a Jewish tradition, so there's like complicated food. You'll see in a second. That's all you really need to know. All right, please enjoy this cinematic masterpiece of a scene now.
So, how did it go? Did you tell him? No, it wasn't the right time. That's okay. It'll happen.
You'll know when it's the right time.
Cyrus, help. I'm not recognizing anything here.
Okay, well, that, of course, is Aunt Ruthie's kugel. That's your classic bagel and lox. That's gefilte fish. Skip that. And I'm gay.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Okay. Cool.
So that scene is actually historic. It's the first time on a Disney Channel show where a character said the words "I'm gay," and it came out of absolutely nowhere. No one was prepared for it, and it was so well done. Clearly, it was so good, so good. Okay, I'm done with Cyrus. I love him so much. I know that half of this video has just been Cyrus, but he's so good. He's so well written. So since you just saw Jonah, let me tell you a little bit more about him. Jonah is your, standard cool guy, but Jonah's actually a very different cool guy than like you would think he would be. He is very nice. He doesn't play like a very he doesn't play football. He doesn't play batchball. What the? Anyways, he plays ultimate frisbee, which sure, and he plays guitar and he sings, and honestly, great guy. And to top it all off, he has anxiety and suffers from panic attacks, and they go really, really in depth with that. Literally every character in this show has something that makes them so unique, and their diverseness, their uniqueness doesn't make them more stereotyped. It's not to hit like a diversity quota. It makes the characters seem so much more realistic, and they I could believe any of these characters are real people, which is so amazing that they've managed to get this much diversity, reality in a Disney show that's genuinely enjoyable for anybody to watch. Ugh, love this show. So there are even more awesome characters who subvert classic tropes and are super interesting and fun to watch, but if I talked about all of them, we'd be here all day, and also I would probably just be so excited that I'd spoil everything, and I've already told you guys a lot, but honestly, I've told you no plot, and the plot is so good. It's so good. It somehow takes middle school teen drama and makes you actually invested. And it's so wholesome. If I'm having a bad day, I'll rewatch an old episode. And I highly recommend that you start doing the same. There aren't even that many episodes right now. There were 12 episodes season 1, 25 in season 2, and we're on not in a couple weeks, episode 12 of season 3 will be out. So you don't even have to watch that much. They're only 20-minute episodes. And they're popcorn. You can watch so many of them in a row. Definitely recommend it. However, the episodes are super, super hard to find. So if you like they're not on like Netflix or something like that. You have to kind of like go searching for them. And if you start watching the show and want me to help you find episodes, let me know. I managed to find all of them through either like YouTube or Daily Motion or whatever that website's called. And I'm sure I can help you find links if you want to watch it. But go ahead and watch the very first episode on YouTube on Disney's channel right now. So you can get addicted and we can talk about it because I need more people to talk about the show with. Okay, thanks. Yeah. So that is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all next week. Bye!